Master modes in StarCitizen are a massive rework of flight mechanics that fundamentally change how space combat and traversal work. It's understandable why new or hesitant players might feel intimidated, but breaking it down step by step reveals how this system improves both gameplay and strategy. The system splits all ships into two distinct operational modes: Nav mode for high-speed travel and SCM mode for combat. Here's a detailed look at how master modes function, their benefits, and practical tips for mastering them. Nav mode prioritizes speed and traversal. When you switch into nav mode, your ship reaches much higher velocities, making it ideal for crossing vast distances or escaping combat. However, there's a catch. Weapons, shields, and countermeasures are disabled. This means you're entirely defenseless except for your speed. In this mode, shields regenerate at a slower rate, and any shield damage can slowly build up into a buffer that's instantly allocated when switching back to combat mode. Practically speaking, nav mode is perfect for two situations: traveling quickly across a system and escaping an engagement when you're outmatched. If you're a pilot who tends to panic under attack, it's important to remember that switching to nav mode takes a brief moment during which you're vulnerable. For this reason, don't wait until your ship is about to blow up to switch. Anticipate threats and make the decision to disengage early. SCM mode, or standard control mode, is your combat mode. Here, ships are limited to lower velocities, but you gain full maneuverability and the ability to activate weapons, shields, and other systems. This brings combat back to a closer, more tactical experience compared to the older, high-speed jousting meta where ships would zip past each other at insane speeds, making fights feel chaotic and unrealistic. In this mode, positioning, precision, and teamwork are king. For those intimidated by combat in master modes, one important principle is to focus on controlling your velocity. Top speeds are capped in SCM mode, so trying to outrun your opponent won't work. Instead, learn to use thrusters and maneuvering to stay close enough to engage effectively, but far enough to avoid their firing arcs. Many ships handle differently now, so take time in free flight to experiment with how your ship accelerates, decelerates, and turns. Switching between modes is where the real depth of master modes lies. The transition takes time, and during this window, your ship slows down, your shields recharge, and your weapons remain offline. This is where tactical decision-making becomes critical. For example, if you see an enemy pilot switching to nav mode, you have a few options. Pursue aggressively, if you can close the distance and engage before they fully transition. They'll be sitting tucks without weapons or shields. Alternatively, hold your ground. Instead of chasing, you might reorient and prepare for their return, using the time to repair or reposition. For multi-cruise ships, master modes also change roles significantly. When the pilot transitions into nav mode, gunners might feel like they have nothing to do since weapons are offline. This downtime can be used for repairing components, managing shields, or strategizing for the next fight. In future updates, we can expect even more depth for non-pilot roles in ships. So, if you're new to StarCitizen or struggling with combat, here are a few practical tips to improve your skills with master modes. First, practice transitioning between modes. The more familiar you are with the timing and mechanics, the less likely you'll panic under pressure. For example, switch from SCM to nav and back again in safe environments to get a feel for the delay and shield recharge timing. Second, learn to read your enemy's behavior. If an opponent starts pulling away or stops firing, they're likely about to switch to nav mode. Anticipating this can help you land a decisive blow while they're vulnerable. Third, remember that shields behave differently now. In nav mode, shields regenerate as a buffer that deploys immediately when you return to combat. This means you can use nav mode tactically to recharge your shields mid-fight. For example, disengage briefly to build up a buffer, then switch back to SCM with fresh defenses. Just be cautious. Doing this too often can leave you exposed. Finally, choose your battles wisely. Master modes reward strategy over brute force. If you're outgunned or outnumbered, switching to nav mode to escape and regroup is a perfectly valid choice. There's no shame in disengaging to fight another day, and the new flight system makes it feel far more intentional and immersive. And in summary, master modes are a major improvement to StarCitizen's flight and combat systems. Nav mode gives you the speed for traversal and retreat, while SCM mode enables close, tactical dogfights that reward skill, positioning, and decision-making. By practicing transitions, mastering your ship's handling, and thinking strategically, you can overcome any hesitation or intimidation and gain the edge in combat. As with any new mechanic, the key is to experiment, adapt, and learn. The universe is vast, and with master modes, every engagement feels more dynamic, rewarding, and balanced. Fly safe, or fight hard, and I'll see you in the verse.